to license it.
Meep meep.
Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Matchbox Makeovers. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a Welly 1:60 scale model, the Lamborghini Huracán LP 610-4. That's a mouthful, and it's one more on the long list of cars I wish I actually had in my driveway. Just wow. It's the first time I've got to work on a Welly die-cast car, and at first impressions, looks pretty good. There's a little rattle. I think the axles and the wheels are, not securely fastened on the inside, but we shall find out momentarily as I put this on the bench vise and quickly remove the two rivets that are holding the model together. If you're enjoying this video, I'd like you to give it a thumbs up, and why not become a new subscriber to my channel, hit the notification bell, and come back often. Yeah, see, the axles and the wheels just came right out, so they're not glued in or fastened in, and I thought something was loose, but they're actually really nice. Rubber tires with the steel rim that I just have to touch up, certainly reusable. And a nicely detailed engine in the back that you see through the glass. And that came apart just fine. And the black trim on the glass is meant to be there. That's not a magic marker aftermarket paint job by the little boy owner. I changed drill bits and go down just as far as the yellow tape. That's a guideline. It's a depth gauge. And I'm going to put a couple of screws in here and leave them in during the paint stripping and then the repainting process so nothing gums up these newly drilled out holes. These are M2 size. So far, so good with my first Welly. And I have learned during these first couple of dozen makeover cars to keep everything in one dish so that they're all there at the end when I need to put it back together. I always do research online before I start the makeover to get some ideas and find out some tips and tricks, and I really couldn't find much in the 1:64 size scale models, but the Wellys are very popular in 1:24 and 1:38 scale and 1:18, and especially RC radio control cars. Those are some fun channels to check out. So I'm kind of flying blind on this size scale Welly. It's my first one, but so far no big surprises. Kind of the same as the rest, and I'm discovering as I go. The base on the Welly on this one is plastic, and I always prefer a metal cast-in base. That's just a better quality, but alright. It's a new hobby for me, and I'm working on most of the cars for the first or second time. Recently I did one by Play Art, and coming up after this Welly is a Darda model that you'll see at the very end of this video. It comes from Germany. And even though this windshield cleaned up pretty well, I like to spend just a little extra time while it's all taken apart and the tools are out to give it a wet sanding job with various degrees of finer and finer sandpaper till I reach 3000. And this is not really to repair anything, it's just giving it a shine and protection. That's floor polish that I dip it into. And I blot off any drips that form on the corners. And just to protect all my work to this point, I pop a little plastic cup on top of that. So it looks like the paint stripper was victorious here. There's a little bit of that red Huracan paint left, but not too much. And an old toothbrush takes care of that. I do it in some hot soapy water because that actually neutralizes this paint stripper a little bit safer. I'm no expert on metallurgy, but I really don't know what kind of metal this is. This one came out looking rather dull. So if any of you know the difference between a Welly and a Matchbox and Hot Wheels and a Corgi, let me know in the comments below, because I'd just be interested to learn. But regardless, I give it the same treatment with a wire brush and some very, very fine steel wool. Took off the remainder of the paint that was left, and I'm not trying to get it into super buff shine, but enough that we can proceed from here to the next level. While I clean up my hobby bench, I'd like to give a shout out to a fellow YouTube diecast restorer, and his channel is called Lazilo Collectibles, and Laz comes from Hungary, and he is doing excellent work. His channel is new like mine, and I'd like you to give him a leg up and go over there and visit and subscribe. And I've left a link to his site in the description below. Safety warning. We recommend eye protection at this point because this Huracan is getting fluorescent green. Why not? It's actually a very popular color. I do some research on these. I was inspired about a week ago. I was at the gas pumps and a Lamborghini pulled up beside, and they're head turners, as you know, not just because of the sexy body lines on the car, but it was lime green. And so I got myself some of that. I said, all right, that's authentic. Some fine exterior details are being taken care of here. And while I do a little exhaust tips and chrome door handles, I'll tell you that the Huracan is Spanish for hurricane. And this car followed the previous V10 offering, which was the Gallardo. And the Huracan made its worldwide debut at the 2014 Geneva Auto Show and was released on the market in 2014, and production lasted until 2019. The LP6104 name comes from the car having a 610 metric horsepower engine and four-wheel drive, while LP stands for Longitudinale Posteriore, which refers to the longitudinal mid-rear engine position. Okay, I believe you. To me, it just looks hot. And that all goes back together. The two screws were hold it in place. And number 40 is just about in the history books, but there is one more essential exterior detail. Of course, we'll have to put a bowl on the hood or the bonnet, depends on where you live. And this is a water slide decal. And I think it's the absolutely essential final detail. And my toothpick is the best tool that I have on my workbench. I actually have 2 or 3 of them. Now you can fiddle with these water slide decals till the cows come home, and I don't know if they're ever just right, but I give it one more nudge there and decide wisely to leave it alone. I'm not sure I would drive a car that color, but if you threw me the keys to the Huracan, alright, I'll take it for a spin. Those Welly wheels were pretty nice. I just touched them up with a little bit of paint. Chrome handles, taillights were done. Windshield detail, a little bit of black grille trim, and the side mirrors got painted. And come on, you gotta love the fluorescent green. Admit it. It was scuffed up and tired out when I started. Play worn, but it had good bones to work with. Put your seatbelts on and your sunglasses. Let's burn rubber. Thanks for visiting my channel today. I hope you come back soon and often. Leave your comments below. Tell me where you're from and what you thought of this Lamborghini makeover. It's coffee time.